pitch. Outside, ball 1. He's got an 0.95 ERA for the Rams this year. In 29 innings, he's given up 26 hits. He's walked 15 and struck out 19. Middlebrooks with the sign. 1-2 on the way. Misses low. Lunsford tied for the team lead in complete games with 3. Tied for the team lead in saves with 1. The wind, the 2-2 pitch. That one missed inside. Ball 3. Did not miss by much. A full count to Mitch Musser. Rams entered the Shiloh game with a team batting average of .291. The bats stay hot. 3-2 outside. Ball 4. So Lunsford started off strong to Musser with 2 called strikes, but Musser never had to swing the bat, and he's at first base here with no one out. And here's Josh Matthews, the Winder Barrow third baseman. The last time these two teams met, the Rams came back and pulled out a 7-6 win at Winder. That coming after an 11-0 game that was going to be called because of the 10-run rule, but the rains came and washed it out before it became official. There's a called strike to Matthews, inside corner. We were worried a little bit about if the 11-0 non-official game would demoralize the Rams team, but they came back and did a good job. Pickoff throw to first base. They've got him. Hires, chasing the runner towards second base. Throws to the shortstop Easterday, who applies the tag. 1-3-6. Caught stealing is Musser. The left-hander Jason Lunsford with an excellent move to first base. So after losing Musser, he gains the out with the pickoff. Caught stealing 1-3-6 if you're keeping a scorecard this afternoon. Meanwhile, it's still 0-1 to Josh Matthews. Rams have another game here at Riverside Park tomorrow at 12 noon. That'll be against Mount St. Joseph. More on that in a minute. There's a swing and a line drive to left center field. No one's going to get this one. It's over everybody's head. Back to the wall. It's off the wall. Rounding first is Matthews. Heads for second. He's in safely with a double. Matthews hit the ball in the right spot, the left center field gap. No one could come up with it. So the Winder third baseman is at second with 1 down. Mount St. Joseph is from St. Paul, Minnesota. And the reports that we have are for a Minnesota school. They are a tremendous program, so we'll be seeing them here at Riverside Park tomorrow afternoon. Not often you get to see a team from that far away play here in Newton County. Last year, the Rams played Escambia, a team from Florida, and lost by 1 run, an extra inning game, thanks to some errors. Hopefully the same thing won't happen tomorrow against Mount St. Joseph. Then after that, of course, the Rockdale game is a 7 o'clock start at Rockdale Monday. It's an unusual start. They've got a JV game ahead of it. And that's the reason why the Rams start at 7 there. Clint Edwards is the DH. Standing in there against the lefty, he takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Then after Rockdale, the Rams have Wednesday off. Friday, they come back here and take on the Parkview Panthers and then round out the regular season schedule a week from this coming Monday against Berkmar. Lunsford's 0-1 offering, changeup high and outside. Jason Lunsford has command of a fastball, changeup, and curveball. Again, we mentioned, probably doesn't throw much over about 70 miles an hour. Swinging a hard grounder, hit the runner, and he's going to be out. Now safe at first base on the play is Clint Edwards. Ball was grounded sharply towards shortstop, and Josh Matthews trying to avoid the path of the ball and at the same time staying to possibly obstruct the view of Matt Easterday, had the ball end up hitting him. So he is out, and Edwards will be reaching safely on the base hit. Easterday was the closest, so he gets credit for, I don't know if it's an assist or a putout, probably a putout for Easterday, so 6 unassisted if you have to write something in that scorebook. But Matthews was hit by the sharp grounder. Here's Kevin Sr. Lefty versus lefty. Lunsford, stretch and pitch. Changeup on the first pitch, misses high. One thing Lunsford loves to do to the left-handers is throw that curveball. He's got a sharp breaking but a slow breaking curveball. Starts in at the left-handed batter's ribs, ends up right about the middle of the plate, and it is tough if you're a left-hander to try to catch up to that pitch. Stretch, runner is going. There is the curveball. A good pitch to steal on throw down. The tag not in time. We have only one umpire here this afternoon. Safe at second base is Clint Edwards. with the stolen base, and again he picked a great pitch to steal on. Lunsford throwing that oh-so-slow curveball. So a stolen base for Edwards. One of the umpires, the one that was working the bases this afternoon, is on his way to Riverside Park. He experienced some car trouble on the way here, but he is on his way. The 2-0 pitch on the way. There's a strike on the outside corner. So Lunsford coming back strong. 2 down, top of the first, no score. The Rams' only sub-region loss, a 1-run loss to the Berkmar Patriots. A Friday home game, as this one is. There's a swing and a sharp grounder, scatters the folks down the Winder sideline, the first base dugout. 6 or 7 players standing there and rooting on the hitter, and he nearly made him pay for it by grounding a sharp one over that way. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now, if you're Jason Lunsford, you're facing a tough dilemma here, trying to throw strikes to a cleanup batter who could do some damage, but you're trying to keep that runner at second base and get the third out without a run scoring. Swinging a hard liner into center. It's a base hit right at Luke Allen, so the runner will hold at third base, and wisely so. Kevin Sr. with the base hit, 3rd hit in this inning from the Bulldogs. A couple of hard hit balls off of Lunsford here. Edwards having to hold up at third base. The line drive into center field. Allen was playing kind of a shallow center, and if Edwards had tried to make a run of that, he would have been thrown out by probably 15 or 20 feet. Allen has a strong and powerful arm in center field. So he stays put at third, and Senior is at first with 2 down. And here's Mike Walden. We're going to see a pinch runner at first base, a courtesy runner for Kevin Senior. Senior, the pitcher, will enter and face the Ram lineup in the bottom half of the first. Some of the ERAs on this team are, let's just say, outrageous. We'll get to that in just a moment. Stretch from Lunsford and the pitch in the dirt. Good stop from Middlebrooks, keeping that runner at third base and keeping Winder off the scoreboard. It's 1-0. Lunsford with the stretch, checks the runners, and here's the pitch, swung on and popped up behind his foul. Count evens. Lunsford at 0.95 coming in. Easterday, going into the Shiloh game, had an ERA of 1.62. That was lowered because he didn't allow any runs against Shiloh. Luke Allen was at 0.35. That'll rise after the Shiloh game. Swinging a 2-hopper, going to be a tough play for Baker. He's going to put it in his back pocket. No play, all hands are safe, and Winder takes a 1-0 lead. Mike Walden with about a 75-foot base hit. It'll look like a line drive in the box score, plus it's an RBI for him. Just a high chopper toward third base, and by the time Baker could come in and make the play, nothing he could do with it. So the Bulldogs draw first blood here. 1-0. And now Alan Balcom is the hitter. Balcom, a big, stocky right-hander. Jason Lunsford delivers his first offering, again in the dirt, and again Middlebrooks with a great stop. More and more in Region 8 Quad A South games, you see the importance of a catcher. A good catcher can do so much for your team. Keep the other team from stealing bases, block pitches in the dirt. Catcher becomes such an important position in these sub-region games. Stretch and the pitch from Lunsford. A little bit low, ball 2. If you have a bad catcher, not only does it disrupt the defense, if you're allowing runners on base, balls can get past that catcher, and of course the stolen base becomes an option that a team like the Newton Rams could use a lot. The Rams have stolen 58 bases, including 10 Wednesday. Lunsford's offering high, so it's 3-0 to Balcom. The left-hander struggling a little bit here. He's going to have a talking to from his middle infield and his catcher. Just a reminder that the bottom half of inning number 3 is going to be the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning. Have a chance to win 100 hot wings as the crowd goes wild. You'll have a chance to win those from the Hard Luck Cafe, the little red building down on the plaza where Nationwise used to be. We'll be bringing that to you bottom half of the 3rd. Stay tuned. Perhaps somebody will win it this afternoon. The Rams have hit 10 home runs this year total. None of them, though, have come in the wing-ding inning. In fact, very few of their home runs have come at home. Rams had one homer at Winder in that 7-6 game. That was Easter Day. 4 homers against Parkview. Rams hit one at Troup County, one in Alabama in the games against Huffman. And so here at home, the power output hasn't been that great, which is kind of a shock for this Newton Ram team. Through the years, they've usually had better power numbers at home. Runners at first and second take their lead. There is a strike to Balcom, who was starting to trot toward first base. He thought it was ball 4. 2 down, 4 base hits from the Bulldogs here in the first have given them the early lead. Lunsford stretches his 3-1 offering, swung on high, pop fly into right field. Cleary is there, and he makes the catch. That'll do it for the Bulldogs, but they pick up a run on those 4 base hits, 3 singles and a double. They leave a couple of men on base. So after a half inning, we are at Riverside Park at Newton High School, right here in Covington, Georgia. Your score, the Winder Barrow Bulldogs 1, and the Newton Rams coming to bat. Ram Baseball live on WGFS, AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch hedge shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A garden weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
And we're back from Riverside Park at Newton High School. We head to the bottom half of the first. Winder scored 1 run early. Let's see if the Rams can get a few back here. Kevin Holden bringing you play-by-play action in this 8 Quad A South matchup. Here's your Ram lineup this afternoon. Matt Easterday starts things off. He's the Ram shortstop. Ryan Moon at second base hits second. Luke Allen is in center field, batting third. Chris Middlebrooks, the cleanup batter, is the catcher. Richie Cleary in right field moves up to the 5 spot in the batting order. Stephen Hyers is down now in the number 6 spot. He is playing first base. Lane Floyd, the DH, bats 7th. Doyle Baker is at third base, hitting 8th, and Jarvis Johnson rounds it out in left field. Winder's defense looking like this. Josh Matthews and Mike Walden make up the left side of the infield at third and short, respectively. On the right side, at second base, Brandon McIntyre. At first base, Alan Balcom. Mitch Musser is in left. Blake Johnsay is the center fielder. Shannon Faulkner in right. And Art Wells catches Kevin Sr., the left-hander. Sr. faced the Rams in the game that didn't count, which is unfortunate for a lot of Rams statistically. Sr. gave up 11 runs in 4 innings. In fact, of those 11 runs, 10 of them were earned. But the Winder Barrow Bulldogs were able to stall long enough for the rains to come, and they had to play again 3 days later. Senior winds the left-hander's first offering, line foul right side. Easterday coming into Wednesday's action against the Shiloh Generals, hitting a brisk .306. Pair of homers, 4 runs driven in. Senior takes a look in at Art Wells. Rams also saw him in Tuesday's game. They were behind, as a matter of fact, when Senior came into the game, and they came back on him to win that one 7-6. In that game against the Bulldogs, Easterday, the leadoff man here, took one out of the ballpark. It's a kind of a shallow field up there in Winder, and Easterday took one out in the second inning, which was unusual because in Saturday's unofficial game, he did exactly the same thing in the second inning. Let's see if he can do the same in the first here. Wells gives the signal to his pitcher. Senior into the wind, brings it home. Easterday swings and drives one deep to right center field. Back on it goes John Say. It's out of here. Matt Easterday, the first batter of the game for the Rams, just as we talk about how the Ram power is down this year at home. sends one out of the yard, and Matt Easterday is going to be sad when the Rams stop playing the Winder Barrow Bulldogs this year. He has torn them up. We are tied at 1. Easterday found a pitch to his liking and hit it just where you would expect him to right center field. So Matt Easterday against the Winder Barrow Bulldogs will compute his batting average here. He had 1 hit and 3 at-bats, so he's hitting .500 with a pair of homers. That's a nice slugging percentage there. Of course, the game that didn't count, he had 2 base hits, a home run, and a single. Also had a walk and a pair of runs scored, so we're tied at 1. Now here's Ryan Moon. And the first pitch to him catches the outside corner for strike 1. Moon came into yesterday's action at .390. Helped his own cause going 3 for 5 against Shiloh. Pair of runs scored. Rams had 10 hits en route to the 13-7 victory over the Generals. 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. The difference in that game, the errors. The Shiloh Generals committed 8 miscues in that game. Rams did not make a single error. And Shiloh actually out-hit the Rams in that game 11-10, but they lost by 6 runs. Moon awaits. The 1-1 offering from Senior, swings, pops it up right side. Under it, the second baseman McIntyre. And McIntyre makes the catch. That's the first out. So here's Luke Allen. Allen at .333 going into Wednesday's action. Did not have a base hit against Shiloh, but reached base 4 times. That's a rare thing. You don't often see that. A pair of walks. He reached on a fielder's choice. Also reached on an error by the shortstop. Now, of course, that was a very common thing Wednesday. Middle infielders for the Generals made 7 errors in that game Wednesday. The wind, first pitch, lefty against lefty here. Allen takes one high. A key to a strong baseball team, one of the first keys is to be strong up the middle. The Rams have been so consistent, and one major reason is they've had great people at second and short for the last several years, as Allen, who has played a little shortstop, takes one low for ball 2. This year, Ryan Moon has not made an error yet at second base, and Matt Easterday has played a consistent shortstop the last 3-4 weeks. Allen awaits, and Senior delivers. That's on the outside corner, 2-1. For the Shiloh Generals, I'm to understand that their regular everyday shortstop was on vacation, and they missed him sorely, as the shortstops and second baseman, both plural, by the way, combined for 7 errors. That pitch misses low. So Allen in the driver's seat here, 3-1. On deck is Chris Middlebrooks. Another Ram regular, over 300. There's a swing and a one-hopper back to the mound. Senior's got it, goes to first, and that's out number 2. Kevin Senior comes down in good fielding position, and that ball was to the third base side. That's the glove side if you're a left-hander, so he really didn't have much work to do to make that play. Now here's Chris Middlebrooks at .325, 13 hits and 40 at-bats. Add to that his performance against Shiloh. He was 0 for 2 there. Walked once, he was hit by a pitch once, came around to score one time also. He awaits, and Senior brings home an off-speed pitch up high. That home run from Easterday should help the Rams have some momentum as we continue on here. Art Wells flashing the signal, 1-0 on the way home. And it misses inside, ball 2. Easterday making Kevin Senior feel more like a freshman out there as he delivers the big blow to right center. Senior takes a look in. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way to Middlebrooks. Swing and a miss. Looked like he was going for the long ball there. 2-1. Chris Middlebrooks, one of the team leaders in runs batted in. 17 going into Wednesday's action. Luke Allen had 18 going into that game. Swing and a miss from Middlebrooks on the high fastball. Count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tied at 1, bottom half of the first. Winder got their run on the single from Mike Walden. The Newton Rams counter with the home run from Easterday. 2-2 pitch. Almost hit him inside. He did a little jumping to get out of the way of that pitch. So we've run it full here, 3-2. Richie Cleary is on deck. He's been red hot, raising his average almost 100 points since about 2.5 weeks ago. Middlebrooks awaiting the pitch, pops it up, foul territory behind home plate. It bounces out of play 5 feet away from the fence, and catcher Art Wells. So it remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ram opponents hitting only .210. And as far as ERA is concerned, that's where the Rams have really dominated. In fact, that's where a lot of their wins have come this year. The pitching has been the big story. A couple of folks who haven't done much varsity pitching have stepped up and done a fine job. One of them, Jason Lunsford. 3-2, popped up, back this way. It's out of play. Lunsford, 4-1. Matt Easterday has come in and saved a couple of games. He's got an ERA under a run and a half. And, of course, the Rams returning Richie Cleary and Luke Allen, who both have plenty of varsity experience now, including the Rams' run for the state championship back in 1994. They made the state's Final Four that year, and they had a deep pitching staff. This Ram team very comparable to that team. The wind, the 3-2 pitch, laid off the high one. It's ball 4. Middlebrooks draws his 6th walk of the year. So here's Richie Cleary, and Middlebrooks gives way to Matt Vaughn at first base. That's become an oh-so-common sight here at Newton High School this year and when the Rams go on the road. Since you can run for your catcher and your pitcher, Joe Brassfield believes that Middlebrooks' main asset to this team is behind the plate. So when he reaches base, Brassfield goes with Vaughn at first base. Cleary steps in, hitting .280. Snap throw to first base, and Vaughn is back in. Cleary with 4 homers this year. 40% of the Ram power output. He's moved back in the batter's box and opened up his stance a little. They go to first base again. A lob toss, and if that had been a harder throw to first base, I think they would have had Matt Vaughn. Vaughn was leaning towards second base, and Senior, I think, had him picked off, but they only had the lob toss in mind, just to let the runner know that Senior is thinking about him over there. Side armor on the first delivery. It's down low. Senior tried that during his warm-up tosses. He throws 3/4 to overhand most of the time, but every once in a while you see him drop down and do the submarine thing. Cleary awaits. They go to first base again in the dirt. A good scoop from Alan Balkum. Rams trying to capitalize on the walk to Chris Middlebrooks. 2 straight retired after the home run from Easterday, and Vaughn running for Middlebrooks at first base. They go back there again, and again Vaughn is back. Matt Vaughn so far in 1996 has stolen 4 bases, and he's been caught 3 times. On deck is Hires. Pitch to Cleary. They keep it outside. Ball 2. This Winder Barrow Bulldog team understands what Richie Cleary can do with the fastball. They've seen it happen, and I have a feeling he may not see too many pitches inside. In fact, he's backed way off the plate. So you can imagine they'll continue to throw the ball outside. Again, they go to first base. Vaughn is standing up. Cleary has certainly backed up toward the back of the batter's box, but he's also backed away from the plate. At least it appears from here that he has. Stretch in the pitch to him. Swings and pops it up right side. Going to be a long run for Shannon Faulkner, but Faulkner makes the play, so Faulkner unable to make it to the Citadel, but able to make that play. And that's out number 3. 1 run thanks to the homer from Easterday, and the Rams left a man on base, so we're tied at 1 after 1 full inning of play at Riverside Park, Newton High School. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
There are some who say you can't put a price on quality. But here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you'll find it's more affordable. That's because you can now get the legendary quality of a Toro recycler lawnmower for as little as $299. Toro's exclusive recycler technology cuts grass clippings so well you could even miss a week and still get a great-looking lawn without bagging. Stop in and see us today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where you can get the Toro you've always wanted for as little as $299. So you finally decided this is the year you'll buy that new Toro recycler lawnmower. You know, the one that gives you a great-looking, healthy lawn without bagging? Well, we at Coast to Coast Home and Auto would like to be the first to congratulate you on your excellent sense of timing. That's because for qualified buyers, you can buy it now with no payments or interest charges for 90 days. 90 days is as good as cash here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where you'll not only get a great Toro mower, you'll also buy some time. At Coast to Coast Home and
We're
Auto,
back from Riverside Park at Newton High School. Kevin Holden, WGFS's sports director and occasional play-by-play man, bringing you action of the Newton Rams and Winder Barrow Bulldogs. For Winder, the bottom third of their order. Here in the top of the second, they'll be facing Jason Lunsford, who retired the Bulldogs, but giving up 4 base hits in the first. And Clint Edwards, the DH and number 3 batter, came around to score on the single from Mike Walden. Throw goes down to second base from Middlebrooks, and we are set to begin the top half of inning number 2. Again, we want to remind you, bottom half of the third, you folks stay tuned because we'll be bringing you the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning. Somebody could win 100 hot wings, and you saw Matt Easterday take one out of the yard in the first. Easterday is likely due up in that third inning, by the way, unless the Rams can get a couple of men on base in the second. We'll start things off here for the Bulldogs with Art Wells. The big right-hander digs in, swings and misses at the first offering, 0-1, and Wells looks like a catcher. Kind of short, kind of stocky. Catchers seem to have that kind of build. He digs in, and the 0-1 is on the way home. Swings, pops it foul behind us, 0-2. Take a look at catchers from the major leagues, and you would know, even out of uniform, that they're catchers. Looking at, well, of course, Darren Dalton has made the switch to left field, but he just looks like a catcher. Just if you take a look at him. Mike Piazza, another one who's that way. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounce toward Baker. Makes the play cleanly. Now here's the throw, and it's in time. Doyle Baker making the clean play at third base. Baker has made some errors at third this year, but really the main problem has been the throwing and not the catching of the ball. It's some of the wild throws to first base, but Baker did a nice job there. One down. Now Shannon Faulkner. Middlebrooks gives the signal. Lunsford's first one on the way, and that's swung in line. Base hit center field. It's past Allen. That one's headed for the center field wall. Here goes Faulkner around first, heading for second. He'll hold up there. Shannon Faulkner with a hard hit line drive. That is the 5th hit for the Bulldogs. So Jason Lunsford, not with his best stuff, not fooling the Winder Barrow hitters here. We see no action for the Newton Rams in their bullpen. So for the time being, it's Brassfield staying with Lunsford here. Now Blake Johnsay. And our base umpire has arrived. As we mentioned before, he had had some trouble getting down here to Riverside Park, some car trouble on his way. But he has officially made it. And time has been called. Middlebrooks going out to talk to Lunsford. I liked what the home plate umpire did there, making sure that time had been called and letting the pitcher know that time had been called, because you see a lot of situations where a pitcher starts to go into his delivery, then realizes time has been called, and some pitchers have hurt their arms stopping their delivery doing that, or pitchers will let pitches go and they'll be wild, and it can be a real disruption. But the home plate umpire did a good job there, making sure that Lunsford understood that time had been called, despite the fact that Johnsay was in the batter's box. Faulkner away at second. Johnsay awaits, takes the first pitch up high. Tomorrow's game is at 12 noon. Mount St. Joseph taking on the Newton Rams. Mount St. Joseph is from Minnesota, in case you haven't heard of them. Swing and a high drive to center field. Back goes Allen on the edge of the track, makes the catch. Tagging and moving to third is Faulkner, but Luke Allen using the pure athleticism and speed to come up with that ball. Can think of a lot of outfielders who might have had more trouble making that play, but Allen has so much speed that a difficult play like that looked fairly routine as he was full speed headed out toward the warning track. So it's allowed out number 2 with Faulkner at third base, and to keep Winder off the board here, Lunsford will have to retire Mitch Musser. He had Musser 0-2 last time and ended up walking him. Musser took a look at 6 pitches without taking that aluminum thing off his shoulders. Lunsford's first pitch didn't miss by much, but it's low, ball 1. Ram middle infielders go behind Lunsford on every throw back from Middlebrooks, making sure that that ball doesn't get past him, with Middlebrooks throwing it back. The 0-1, high and tight, looked like Lunsford's fastball. Checks the runner at third base, and the 2-0 is on the way home, and that misses low, ball 3. Lunsford, the type of pitcher who, without a particular pitch, if a particular pitch isn't working for him, he can adjust and still win games. I'm to understand that there was a game earlier this year in which he didn't throw one curveball. 3-0 pitch, fastball high, ball 4. So for the second straight time, Musser looks at 4 go by. He hasn't swung a bat yet this afternoon. It's been a little walk in the park for Mitch Musser.
Number 15, Josh Matthews.
But Lunsford did win that game where he had thrown no curveballs throughout the entire game. And I'm also to understand that there was one game where he threw very few, if any, fastballs. The changeup is the pitch that keeps the hitters off stride and helps to set up his other 2 pitches. Stretch. Matthews swings at the changeup and comes up shy. It's 0-1. Matthews got a hold of a Lunsford pitch to left center for a double last inning. And the Rams shade him a few steps that way here. Allen is cheating toward left center. Moon a little bit towards second. They've got the runner picked off. Heyer's going to run that man towards second base. Now the throw's going to come home. Guy trying to score there is out. And that's out number 3. Credit the Ram defense with a good job there as the throw came home. Ryan Moon bringing it to the catcher, Chris Middlebrooks, so that run would not score. They were more interested in keeping that run from scoring than picking up the third out. Well, they got both. The run didn't score, and they got the third out. We'll sort the scoring out in just a moment. No runs for the Bulldogs. 1 hit. They left 1 man on base. We have played an inning and a half here at Riverside Park. Tied at 1. Ram Baseball, WGFS, AM 1430.
The cellular phone business has become extremely competitive, and it's not unusual to see ads offering free cell phones. What gets the consumer's attention these days is an affordable rate plan. Well, if that's what you're waiting for, then listen up. Right now at East Metro Communications, you can get a free cell phone, no connect fee, and cellular service for $14 per month. And that includes 20 minutes of off-peak airtime. That's right, I said $14 and 20 minutes free off-peak airtime. This offer expires April 30th. So go by East Metro Communications, this area's oldest authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. They're located a quarter-mile east of Newton General on Highway 278, or give them a call at 786-6796.
Certain restrictions apply, cannot be combined with any other offer.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations. And you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Stephen Hires takes the first pitch low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. The Newton Rams and the Winder Barrow Bulldogs tied at 1, bottom half of inning number 2. You're listening to the Rams live on your sports leader, WGFS AM 1430, Covington, Georgia. 1-0 pitch. Hires takes a big swing but fouls it off to the right. Hires went into the Shiloh game at 233. Hitless in that game, although he laid down a crucial suicide squeeze bunt that allowed 2 runs to score. Bill told me that he had never seen that play score 2 runs, but the suicide squeeze brought 2 across Wednesday. Sidearm delivery from Kevin Sr. is outside. And Hires dropped down to the number 6 spot in the batting order. Should do him some good. Hires was 0 for his last 13 in that number 3 hole. 2-1 pitch. Fastball low, ball 3. Well, one thing that Junior, as they call him, has not been short on is the bases on balls. So far this year, Hires has walked 15 times, easily leading this club. He's also one of the leaders in strikeouts. He has whiffed 13 times. Stretch, and Senior brings the 3-1 home, and Hires swings and drills one deep to center field. Back on it goes Johnsay. Back. It's out of here, right over the 360 sign. Home run, Stephen Hires. For Hires, his first shot of the year, and it is 2-1 Rams. So Newton dialing 8 for long distance. They're playing long ball with the Bulldogs this afternoon. Second straight inning that the leadoff man has taken a ball out of here. And that is to the deepest part of the park. Make no mistake, that is not a cheap shot. 360 to center field. And Hires cleared it. So 2-1 Rams. And Hires receives a well-deserved round of congratulations. And now here's Lane Floyd, and Floyd knows about this Winder Barrow pitching as well. He comes in at 323. Lefty against lefty. Thought about going at the first pitch, but he holds up. Floyd had RBIs in the 6th and the 7th against Winder when the two teams played at the Winder Recreational Complex. The second of those was the game-winning RBI. Floyd takes another one. Outside, ball 2. Lane doubled in the 6th inning, scoring a run, and then the 7th run of the game, the decisive run, scored on his single in the 7th. He takes one right down the heart for a strike here. And Lane also has an interesting distinction that a lot of people should know about. Against Shiloh Wednesday, 2 hits in 1 inning. Drove in a couple of runs and scored twice. In fact, he drove in 3. Wind and the pitch. He takes another one outside. So Floyd with a rare distinction. Not many people can say they've had 2 hits in the same inning, but the Rams exploded with an 8-run outburst against Shiloh in the 5th, and Floyd was a big part of it with the 2 base hits. He awaits the 3-1 offering, swings and lines one past the shortstop. That's into center field. Floyd will be around first with his base hit. So he's swinging a hot bat. That is 6 straight games that Floyd has had a base hit. Still no one out, and here's Doyle Baker. Baker takes a look down at Joe Brassfield, his third base coach. Doyle was 1 for 3 with a pair of walks against Shiloh. He did score in the 2nd. First pitch to him, he was bailing out and swung and fouled one back to the screen. Rams scored 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd at Shiloh, and then 1 in the 4th, and that game was tied at 5 going into the 5th, and honestly getting a little scary. I thought the Rams would handle the Shiloh Generals a little better. Well, they did. They scored 8 then in the 5th and ended up winning 13-7. Step off and throw to first. Floyd is back in. Kevin Sr. has been watching Steve Avery. The quick step-off move where you take that left foot, which for the left-hander is the back foot, go off the rubber and then snap that throw to first base, and Avery's caught a few runners that way. Bunt and steal, and the pitch is missed, and the throw to second base is not in time. The throw was to the first base side of the bag. The throw actually beat Floyd to second base, but he was able to slide in outside the tag because of the throw, which was probably 5 or 10 feet off the bag. And once again, the bunt and run play, successful in one aspect, but unsuccessful in its original purpose, to move that runner over, but Rams get the best of both worlds because Baker is still up there, and he takes a pitch up high. Kevin Sr. can occasionally be wild. He throws a lot of high outside pitches. Reminds you of an older Ram left-hander, Cale Curtis, who wore the same number, number 14, and did the same thing. Sr. to the belt. Takes a look at Floyd at second base. Now brings it home, and that one's outside, and Wells coming up out of his crouch to keep that ball from going back to the screen. 2-1. Baker going into that Shiloh game, a 143 hitter in sub-region play, but the 1 for 3 should help that. Curveball up high, so Senior missing high with just about everything. Mechanically, that should tell you that he's probably not following through all the way. But Baker, in the meanwhile, taking these pitches that are high. Wells gives the signal, and the 3-1 is due. Here it is. He swings and misses. That pitch was down. Actually, that was a 3-2 pitch. The scoreboard obviously missing one of the dots for one of the strikes, so a strikeout here from Baker. 1 down. That's not the first time that that scoreboard was missing the dot. I'll bet that one of the lights out there isn't working for one of the strikes, so we'll keep that in mind. Jarvis Johnson steps up. Johnson helped his cause to get back in the regular starting lineup with a pair of base hits Wednesday. He had gone several games without an official at bat. Got the start with Bryce Avery being gone, and picked up those 2 singles. In fact, those were his first and third at bats in the second and in the fifth. He also walked once. So he is back in the order, and the sidearm delivery is low, ball 1. And for a left-hander, that's got to be tough, because Kevin Sr. is not a pitcher who throws sidearm all the time. Likes to drop down there every once in a while, and if you're a lefty, it's tough enough to just face a sidearmer, let alone a man who will come sidearm, say, 20% of the time, and overhand the rest of the time. This one's an overhand curveball, missing low. Senior is working with the different deliveries and different release points, but at the same time, he's missing with a lot of his pitches. So the Rams very patient right now and hoping to take advantage. 2 balls, no strikes to Johnson. Floyd away from second, and that pitch is a strike outside corner. Johnson, a .360 hitter. No homers, 5 RBI. The 2-1 pitch is on the way. The bunt and run. Runner going for third. Pitch is missed, but the throw is up the third base line, and Floyd will be safe again at third base. That is the second time that the Rams have tried to execute the bunt and run play. Oddly enough, it's the second time that it has been unsuccessful as far as the bunt is concerned, but the runner's been safe both times. So the Rams have gotten a lot out of it. So another stolen base for Lane Floyd. He's turning into a regular Ricky Henderson here. He's got 4 stolen bases in his last couple of games. In fact, he's successful in his last 4 stolen base attempts. Stretch and pitch. Did that hit Johnson? I don't know. It's back to the screen, though. Here comes Floyd to throw a double clutch, and he's safe. That's a wild pitch on Kevin Sr. And if you'll remember, wild pitches were a problem for this Winder Barrow team a while back. So Johnson with a 3-1 count. In the 6th inning, when Newton played Winder at Winder, 4 wild pitches thrown in that 6th inning, leading to the Rams 2 runs. In fact, one man reached first on an error, advanced to second, third, and home on 3 distinct separate wild pitches. So the Winder Barrow left-hander, Kevin Sr., looking in. Stretch and a 3-1 pitch to Johnson, swinging and missing. And that again was a 3-2 pitch. Sorry about that. That's strike number 3 and out number 2.
Shortstop, Matt Easterday.
So that's it for Johnson. 2 down. Now Easterday. Matt Easterday got a hold of one to lead off this game for the Rams. Took it to right center, somewhere near that Hard Luck Cafe sign. Probably about a 360, 370-foot home run. And the first pitch, a sidearm offering, missing low to it. So the Rams lead now 3-1 thanks to the wild pitch and a pair of long balls. Easterday awaits. Senior pitching from the stretch, even with no one on base, and the fastball outside. I see a lot of similarities between Senior and Cale Curtis. They tried that with Curtis for a while because he had some trouble with his control. They tried having him pitch from the stretch even though no one was on base. That way you have a lot less wasted motion. Curveball just missed a little high, so a 3-ball, no strike count to the Ram leadoff man. And Cale Curtis turned in some very gutsy performances for the Rams down the stretch that year in '94. There's a called strike outside corner. Rams were in the state playoffs, and against Wheeler and had to use a lot of pitchers. And Curtis had to come in and throw that third game of the series, and he won that one. Swing and a miss from Easterday. It's 3-2. In fact, the Rams had as little distraction for Curtis as possible. When he was on the mound, normally you hear the Rams in the dugout and on the field chattering. They didn't say a word. They were completely quiet to give Curtis complete concentration, and it took it because the Rams won the game by 1 run. Swinging a bouncer first base side, taken by Balcom, about a one-step jump to the first base bag, and that retires Easterday and the Newton Rams, but a pair of runs on 2 hits, including a long one from Stephen Hires. Rams did not leave anyone on base. So after 2 innings, good news from Riverside Park. It is 3-1 in favor of the Rams. Newton Ram Baseball live here on WGFS AM 1430.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered. With vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869. 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
Everything going well for the Rams here in terms of home trivia show tomorrow morning. But Monday, he'll be back. Rams and Rockdale Bulldogs. Ball 1, first pitch to Josh Matthews right on the plate. He takes a pitch, ball 2 inside. I'm not sure how you could have a pitch that's inside. He is standing so close to the plate that it seems a pitch that would miss inside should hit him. 2-0, there's a strike, 2-1. Lunsford has given up 5 base hits, 3 singles and a pair of doubles. He's walked a pair, unusual for him, has not struck out a batter. 2-1, missing low, ball 3. Really his walk and strikeout total, 15 walks and 19 strikeouts in 29 innings. You have to go back to a game against Forest Park, as here's the 3-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Count runs full. In that game, if I'm not mistaken, he walked 7 or 8 and struck out 8. Take that away, and his stats look a lot more like the control pitcher that he is. 3-2. Thought about going around, but Matthews held up, and it's low. That's ball 4, the 3rd walk from Jason Lunsford, and the 2nd batter in a row that he's allowed to reach via the free pass. Now in the 2nd, he walked Musser, and with 1st and 3rd, he caught the runner off first base. And going back to that play, the Ram infield was very smart. Hires was going after Musser, who was headed for 2nd. But if he had been able to stay in the rundown long enough for a run to score, that would have, of course, been one more on the scoreboard for Winder. So Hires was paying attention there, swinging a foul back to the screen, 0-1. So Hires was taking a look at that runner at 3rd base, threw it to Moon, and the second the runner broke, Moon brought the ball home. It was a good throw, right on target. And Shannon Faulkner, the Winder Barrow right fielder, was out at home plate. Edwards awaits. Here's the offering from Lunsford. That one just inside, perhaps a little bit low as well. Goes into his wind. The delivery swung on and hit high and hard to center field. Allen is there, though. In his tracks, makes the catch. We do want to remind you that tomorrow on WGFS, we've got a lot of folks who are on temporary leave of absence. Our fishing report that we usually bring you with J.J. Pollock will not be taking place tomorrow either. So if you're listening for that, listen in the next Saturday, We'll be bringing you that fishing report plus the trivia show and much more. You can listen for Country Countdown USA. I promise you they will have that tomorrow, as well as Newton Ram baseball and Braves baseball. To go to first base, Lunsford does. Matthews about a step and a half off the bag, so no chance for a play there. Kevin Sr. brought the runner to third base with a single. The first time he was up, swings here late, I think at a changeup, and fouled it off. He stayed back on the ball so well that despite the fact that it was a changeup, he was late on it. Lunsford, understanding that, probably would throw him a fastball here. And Middlebrooks going through a set of signals, so we'll see what Lunsford brings. The 0-1 pitch, another changeup, lined left field side, could be trouble. No, it's foul. Jarvis Johnson giving chase, but that one bounces to the left side of the chalk, and so it goes to 0-2 on Senior. Senior hoping to help out his own cause. He's given up a pair of long balls, and if he could hit one out, then the Winder Barrow Bulldogs would have tied the score here with the Rams. Middlebrooks setting up outside. The pitch is up high. Runner thought about going, but the catcher up immediately, and Matthews has to scurry back to first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now we'll see if we see that fastball from Lunsford. Another changeup, swung on line, center field. On comes Allen, running, makes a good basket catch about waist high. That's the second out. And Allen has been put to the test the last 2 innings. I think the Bulldogs are understanding not to hit the ball his way. He has made a couple of very good catches the last few innings. The one in the second going toward the warning track, and that one there running in almost full speed, making the basket catch. Middlebrooks and Lunsford having a conversation here with 2 down as they face Mike Walden. Walden has the lone RBI for the Bulldogs this afternoon. Drove in Edwards with a single. 2 down. We are in the third. The Rams scoring 1 in the first and 2 in the second. Matthews down at first after drawing the leadoff walk. He is still there. And the pitch swung and bounced toward Baker. He's got it at third, and the throw in time. The Winder Barrow Bulldogs retired without a base hit. They leave a man on. The leadoff walk, it stays at first base. The Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning coming up, bottom half of the third. We'll see if we can give away 100 hot wings. Stay tuned for it. Ram Baseball, WGFS, AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A Garden Weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
Hey there, Carl the Greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know me, I'm the guy who delivers hot wings to the trivia show every Saturday morning. Randy wanted me to be sure and let everyone know that the Hard Luck now has 3 locations. That's 1 in Conyers, 1 in Madison, and of course the original location in Covington. You know, that's that little red building down there where Nationwide used to be. So for the best hot wings around, stop by the Hard Luck or call ahead so your wings will be ready when you get there. I can't remember all the numbers, but in Covington it's 787-0421. That's 787-0421. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to tell them that Carl sent you.
Bottom half of the third from Riverside Park, your Newton Rams lead the Winder Barrow Bulldogs 3-1. It's the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning. First man up is Ryan Moon, taking the first pitch low and outside. That's ball 1. Moon is batting for Jesse Allen, who lives on Mitchell Road in Covington. Jesse Allen could pick up 100 hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. And the ball is carrying out of here well today. And there's a swing and a hard liner to left field. Won't be a homer, but a diving stop, and he made the catch, the left fielder. Mitch Musser with a great catch in left field, diving toward the foul line to make the play. I thought that surely would be in for a base hit. So credit Musser with robbing Moon of a base hit there, 1 down. Luke Allen bats for Carolyn Brown of Highway 142. Allen certainly has long ball power, so Carolyn Brown might be the beneficiary of a few hot wings. First pitch to him, the curveball, did not have enough break on it. 1 ball, no strikes. Allen bounced back to the mound last time out. Well, the Rams did get a couple of men on, so we didn't see Easterday, who we thought we might, in the third. Sidearm offering, Allen taking it low and inside, 2-0, and it's good to see that Allen wasn't bailing toward first base against the left-hander with that sidearm delivery. That was a problem for him last year, but he has fixed that. He's done a real good job with that this year. Staying tough against the left-hander is going to be very important. Pitch down low to him. 3 balls, no strikes, so they've stayed away from giving him anything to hit. On deck is Middlebrooks, though, another man with power. Carolyn Brown, our contestant in the wing-ding inning. Hard Luck Cafe sponsors it. Bet you didn't know that. Strike 1, inside corner. If you'd like to become a part of the wing-ding inning, put your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or one of the entries that is printed in the newspaper. Send it to the wing-ding inning, and we'll give you the address in a moment. Ball 4, up high and outside. So Allen draws the base on ball. Sorry, Carolyn Brown, you are not a winner in the wing-ding inning. But Hugh Farmer could be, as Middlebrooks stepping in. Hugh Farmer of South Dinah Circle in Covington. So if Chris Middlebrooks can get a hold of one, we'll see 100 hot wings go to Hugh Farmer. Middlebrooks drew a walk last time. Runner leads away. That step off and quick throw to first base, and Allen is back in. Send your entries to the wing-ding inning, care of WGFS Radio, P.O. Box 869, Covington, Georgia 30210. Runner going, hit and run, and perfectly executed. Second baseman has to make a diving stop, throw to first, and they got him. Middlebrooks was diving head first into first base, probably hurt him. But on the way to second base there is Luke Allen. The hit and run, Middlebrooks just tapping at an outside pitch and bouncing it. And the second baseman, Brandon McIntyre, made a great play. So the Bulldogs have picked the wing-ding inning to make some tremendous plays here. Middlebrooks out 4-3 with Allen moving to second base on the play. Doris Womack is our contestant. And Doris, you got a smile across your face right now because Richie Cleary is the batter. And if Cleary sees a fastball, you might be eating some bird. There's a fastball, but 1.5 feet outside, ball 1. Cleary flied out to right in the first. That ended that first inning. You can also, by the way, with your wing-ding inning entries, bring them by our studios at 1151 Hendrick Street, just off the square. Fax it to us also, 784-9892. We'll accept them that way. Swinging a liner back up through the box, base hit to center field. They're going to send the runner. Here comes Allen. The throw is going to be not in time. RBI single from Richie Cleary puts the Rams on top by a field goal. It's 4-1. So the solid base hit from Cleary. And a nice job there, not concentrating on the home run. Of course, Doris Womack would have liked for him to concentrate on the homer, but Cleary just going right back up the middle. And against the off-speed pitcher, that's the best way to do it. Now Stephen Hires. Hires bats for Mary Belcher. And tell me Hires didn't benefit from a switch in the position in the batting order. He was 0 for his last 13 in the 3 spot. They move him to the 6 spot. First at bat, drilled one over the center field wall. So he's got one to his credit. Pitch up high and inside. Delayed steal from Cleary and the throw down. They got him at second base. So Cleary, who's usually pretty adept at the delayed steal, was caught by the catcher, Art Wells, who was sharp behind the plate. And Mary Belcher, not a winner, and we did not have a winner yet again in the wing-ding inning. You can look forward again tomorrow when the Rams play Mount St. Joseph. We'll see if we can give away the 100 hot wings at that point in time. 1 run for the Rams, though, in the wing-ding inning with 1 hit. No one left on base, no errors from the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. So after 3 full innings, it's 4-1. Rams lead. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
Aside from choosing the right home, it's important to choose the right mortgage loan. At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, we're putting today's low rates together with prompt hometown service in offering special construction perm loans with one-time closing, conventional and balloon mortgages, and more. And servicing of your loan remains right here, too. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, 3175 Highway 278, Covington. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you, one in Madison, one in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
And we are back from Riverside Park and Newton High School. The Rams of Newton High School lead the Bulldogs of Winder Barrow High School. Your score is 4-1. Kevin Holden, joined by a special guest here this half inning, Chris Bridges with the Covington News, our excellent sports reporter who has been giving us the printed version of the play-by-play action of the Rams and Bulldogs.
Good to be here with you, Kevin.
All right, well, we appreciate you stopping by as the first pitch is inside ball 1. Chris, you've been covering this Ram team throughout the year, and of all the games you've seen this Ram team play so far, what do you think's the strongest that they've played?
Oh, probably perhaps the strongest they played was the Parkview game where they just crushed Parkview 9-0. That was probably the biggest surprise, I think, of the year so far.
Strike called outside corner. It's 1-1. A 9-0 thrashing, and honestly, none of us thought that could happen.
Well, not surprised so much that Newton won just, by the 9-0 score.
The 1-1 from Lunsford. There's a swing and a miss by Alan Balcom. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Lunsford gave up 4 hits in the first, but appears to have settled down as he goes into his wind and brings the 1-2 on the way. Here it is. Swing and a tapper foul.
Well, see, I've been real impressed with Jason Lunsford all year. Here's a guy who not many people thought would make that big of a contribution this year to the team, and here he is out here, one of the leading pitchers as far as record-wise, and just every time you see him perform, you've got to be impressed.
1-2 once again on the way. Popped right back this way. Chris, we had a chance for just a moment. Thought we were going to catch a foul ball about 2 feet off to our right. So perhaps we'll have our chance here. We've been talking about that all year. You're up here in the press box with us, and we want our shot at a foul ball.
Yeah, I hear y'all talking about pulling out the net every once in a while, but no luck yet.
No, none yet. There's a swing and a high fly ball to center field, but Allen is there and makes the play. There's another man who's been a steady force for the Rams, Luke Allen, on the mound going into that Shiloh game. His ERA was about 1/3 of a run per game. And not only that, when he's in center field, I don't think you'll find many finer in this region.
Yeah, you've just got to be impressed with Luke Allen. Just perhaps, maybe the best all-around ball player on the team. I know Coach Brassfield speaks fairly highly of him. Just a great leader, just a great player. He lives baseball. That's his sport. You've got several guys who do more than one, but baseball is what Luke Allen does, and he does it very well.
Now here's Art Wells, and Lunsford missing up high for the first ball to him. Wind, and the 1-0 offering on the way. Strike 1 called, outside corner. You're getting to be a veteran at this radio thing from football and this.
Yeah, we had some good times back during football season. It's the first time I've been able to be on with you here during the baseball season. It's always enjoyable.
There's a bunt up the first baseline as Wells tries to reach, and kind of a stocky guy to be bunting. You wouldn't expect him to do that. It doesn't look like he'd have a lot of speed. He bunts it foul, so it's a ball and 2 strikes, but a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, you don't see your catcher bunting too many times. That's for sure.
And he has definitely got a catcher's build. A ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. And Lunsford's delivery inside, he ducked out of the way of that pitch, so it evens up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, we've got 4 regular season games remaining after this one, 3 in the sub-region. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on and popped up right side. Moon is there. Under it, and makes the play for the second out. 3 of those games are in the sub-region. And, of course, tomorrow, Mount St. Joseph. And how important do you think that game next Friday against Parkview here is going to be?
Well, that's the big one right there. Unfortunately, you can't overlook anyone, as Newton found out last Friday against Burkmar. But if things go as I believe they will, that should be for all the marbles. If Newton could take that game, they've got the sub-region tied up.
Strike call to Shannon Faulkner. I say this much: the surprise team of this sub this year has been Burkmar.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think maybe even that win against Newton maybe even propelled them into, own up.
Swinging a hard grounder past Lunsford. Moon unable to make the play. Safe at first base is Shannon Faulkner.
Yeah, Burkmar was on the road to nowhere when they came in here against Newton that day and just shocked everybody. They've played well since then, but I'm still surprised at that outcome. And of course, Newton's got to go up to Burkmar still, and we know the problems they've had there the past few years. They haven't had much luck there at all.
To be honest, Chris, I don't remember the Rams winning a game at Burkmar in my time here, and we talked about it before as the first pitch to Johnsay is fouled back 0-1. I've been here since medieval times, and in that whole time I don't remember the Rams ever winning at Burkmar, so you'll be dealing with a rare circumstance, but the Rams will have extra incentive having lost here. Wind by Lunsford and the pitch. That one's popped up, but it'll be out of play right side.
Yeah, I was talking with Britt Johnson, another former Newton player, yesterday, and we were doing a little talking about the baseball team this year, and he said he didn't ever remember them beating Burkmar either at Burkmar. So it's been a long time. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it has been several years.
The wind and the pitch nearly hit him inside. Kicks some dirt in disgust, does Blake Johnsay, but it's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 down here, runner at first base. Rams have scored at least once in every inning. Lunsford has held the bats quiet since the first. One hopper past the second baseman, Moon. That's into center field. A base hit. Blake Johnsay with the 6th hit here for Winder Barrow. And runners at first and second with 2 down. And that one wasn't the hardest hit ball, but very well placed. Right out beyond the pitcher's mound. Had just enough spin to bounce away from the second baseman, Moon. But going back to Burkmar, the Rams were up there in '94 playing an extra inning game, leading 10-8. This is when Burkmar did not have lights. They were leading 10-8, and kind of a similar circumstance to when the Rams were at Winder a few Saturdays ago. Burkmar was able to stall until it was too dark to see, and with 1 out or 2 outs left to play, they stopped play in the middle of an inning, which I thought they shouldn't have let them play any in the inning if they were going to stop it at all. Stretch. And the pitch, runner headed for third base. Throw down there, not in time. Close play. Faulkner gets in under the tag. Runner staying at first base. Johnsay may have missed the signal, so he's still at first. But that game, the Rams really had one. It was 10-8. They had 1 out, no one on base in the bottom half, I think, of the 8th inning. And as we were going along, as I mentioned, it was getting darker and darker, and you expected the game to be called at any time, but they let them start that inning. And the Rams were actually giving outs. They were bunting the ball and trying to make outs as much as they could. But the umpires called the game, and since the inning was not completed, they went back to the end of the previous completed inning, at which time it was tied 8-8. So ended up being a tie. So that win was literally stolen away from the Rams. Now, one thing that was very good for Newton was Burkmar not having lights meant that the next year when Burkmar was supposed to host the region tournament, they deferred to Brookwood, or Brookwood actually had a plan with them to take it for that year. There's a strike to Mitch Musser. But Brookwood took that region tournament that year because Burkmar did not have lights, and I know the Rams were happy about that.
Yeah, you see a lot of strange things, especially with fields that don't have lights, and of course I was not here then, but that does sound kind of strange to take a win away from a team, like you say, when they've already started an inning and already have recorded an out in the inning, to go back and to take runs off the board. That's to smart that one up, I guess, to one of those crazy rules that we all like to talk about and talk about how strange they are.
The 1-2 offering hits Mitch Musser, and Shannon Faulkner at third base was going to be enterprising there. Of course, as you know, the runners are not forced if there's no one behind them, and there were runners at first and third, so Faulkner at third base wasn't allowed to go anywhere after the man was hit by a pitch, but he was triumphantly strolling home until the home plate umpire told him, "No, son, you need to go back to the third base bag." So bases loaded here. 2 down, and Rams in a bit of a crunch. Here's Matthews taking a pitch for a strike. And that game is the last game of the regular season, the game at Berkmar. 3 days later, the region tournament is at Clark Central. Long bus ride for the Rams. We'll get into that in a minute, Chris, as I know that a lot of folks are going to be putting some miles on some vehicles there. 0-1 pitch. Popped him up. Matt Easterday going to put an end to this inning by making the catch. Winder Barrow leads the bases loaded. Lunsford got 3 flyouts in that inning. Gave up a single. A man was also hit by a pitch, but Winder leaving 3 men on base, so they put no runs across. And we have played 3.5 innings with your score 4-1 here at Riverside Park and Newton High School. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS, AM 1430.
If this is the year you look seriously at a lawn and garden tractor, we invite you to look at the solid Toro Wheel Horse 260 Series tractors. They're at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Power, performance, comfort, and styling all come together in this value-packed machine. Here's what you get. A 14 or 16 horsepower Toro Power Plus engine. A choice of 4 mowing decks ranging from 38 to 48 inches. Also available is the exclusive Toro Recycler deck that gives you a beautiful lawn without bagging. You can even till, plow, or throw snow using the unique Toro Attach-O-Matic hitch system that lets you hook up attachments easily without tools. The Toro 260 series of lawn and garden tractors. Come see us today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Come see the Toro 260 series of lawn and garden tractors today. Coast to Coast Home and Auto in downtown Covington.
Tradition and excellence since 1946. That's WGFS, AM 1430, Covington.
Welcome back to Riverside Park at Newton High School. We're halfway home for the Rams here in the bottom half of the fourth. They started out with Stephen Hires, followed by Lane Floyd and Doyle Baker. Hires was at bat when Cleary was caught stealing on the delayed steal last inning. Takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. I'm Kevin Holden, and we have special guest Chris Bridges from the Covington News here with us. Kevin Sr. pitching from the stretch here for the Bulldogs. A 1-0 in the dirt, ball 2. The region tournament, Chris, at Clark Central in Athens. An hour drive or so from here and an hour plus from a lot of the Gwinnett schools. I think it's raised a bit of a ruckus in the region.
Right. I know several teams not happy with that, with the selection of the region tournament at Clark Central this year, simply because, like you say, number one, it's a long drive for everyone involved. And then number 2, it appears as of right now, Clark Central is not going to be in the region tournament. So there you have a team hosting the region that's not even going to be in it.
Swinging a line drive past the pitcher into center. Another base hit for Stephen Hires. And you know, Chris, I think it was a safe bet to say that he's a tad more comfortable in the 6th spot in the batting order, going 2 for 2 with 2 exceptionally hard-hit balls here.
Right. That may have been just what he needed, just to get a little change in scenery, as they say, and sometimes that makes all the difference, and it certainly has for him here today.
Comfortable batting a little lower in the batting order, as you can tell with that. So Hires is 2 for 2, taking his lead away at first base. You know, he's the team leader in stolen bases. Lane Floyd, who singled and scored after stealing a pair 2 innings ago, is at bat and a throw to first base, and the runner's back. As far as you see from the South Sub-region, we take 3 teams here to the region tournament. Who would you expect it to be, and in what order of seed?
Well, right now, as far as teams that I expect maybe to be in it, as of today, it looks like it may be Newton, Parkview, and believe it or not, Berkmar.
Yeah.
As of now. Of course, you know, that could change. We've still got several games that could be played. I think Brookwood is still mathematically in it, but they would have to win out and then have some other things happen. But that's the way it looks right now.
And, of course, if Winder Barrow does not win here, they'll have their 5th loss.
Yeah, a loss today, I think, would eliminate Winder if they weren't already eliminated.
They're 3 and 4 coming in here. Would you expect it to be in that order, Newton, Parkview, and then Berkmar?
If I were making a prediction, I would say yes. Of course, you know, Newton still has to play Parkview and Berkmar one more time. So, you know, that could change a lot depending on the outcomes of those games. But I look for those 3 teams probably to be the representatives from this side.
First pitch is in the dirt. Hires heads for second base, and he's in there. Man moves up into scoring position thanks to the wild pitch. That is the second wild pitch that Senior has thrown. So 1 ball and no strikes to Lane Floyd. Lefty against lefty here. With no one out, Rams trying to score for the 4th straight inning. Big cut, but he came up short. A ball and a strike. Now, I don't know what you've heard about the north side of the sub-region. Do you know anything about who might enter from up there?
I have not heard that much about the north side. Simply by looking at the top 10 rankings that come out. Haven't seen too many teams from that side in the top 10. You can't, base everything on that, but that would be an indication to me that even their top team, which sorry to say I don't know who that is right now. I'm going to try to do a little checking next week and find out who's doing what on that side. But apparently even their top team has not been all that impressive this year.
2-0 to Floyd. He swings and pops it up into shallow left field. On the run is Musser. He's called off by the center fielder, Johnsay, for the first out. Hires staying put at second base. I know this much. Heritage cracked the top 10 for a week a while back, but I think they've dropped out since. And Heritage is likely to be the top seed from the north side. Of course, you have a lot of action left, and anything can happen in a week and a half time. But I think Heritage is in that region tournament. Past that, it isn't quite decided yet. I know South Gwinnett, Central Gwinnett, and Norcross all have at least stakes in this race. And but basically, I think anybody's guess is as good as anyone else's right now. Baker swings, pops one up to right field. Faulkner is there. Hires is going to tag here, and the throw to third base is offline. Tagging up on the sacrifice to right field is Hires, and so he'll be at third with 2 down. Baker flying out to right. Heads up base running from Hires.
Yeah, Hires has had a real good game today. Like I said, we talked about before about how he's benefited from being moved down to the number 6 position in the batting order, and this kind of seems to be carrying over to every part of his game today, as he made a good tag there and good slide to get in.
Here's Jarvis Johnson, a strikeout victim. Senior has struck out a pair and walked 2 in 3 2/3 innings. He's given up 5 hits. Swing and a one-hopper. The shortstop coming across. That's Walden, and he throws on to first in time. Rams go without a run scored. 1 base hit. They leave that man at third. So after 4 innings, and as we head to the 5th, it's 4-1. Chris Bridges, thanks for being with us this afternoon, and we want to remind everybody to stop by and pick up a copy of the Covington News if you miss anything Ram-wise, or even if you catch the game if you want more in-depth analysis. Can't think of a better person to give you that in-depth analysis than Chris Bridges himself. So, Chris, thanks for stopping by, and we want to remind all the folks to pick up some Covington News.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Good being with you again on the radio.
We'll be back after this Newton Ram Baseball here on WGFS, AM 1430.
The cellular phone business has become extremely competitive, and it's not unusual to see ads offering free cell phones. What gets the consumer's attention these days is an affordable rate plan. Well, if that's what you're waiting for, then listen up. Right now at East Metro Communications, you can get a free cell phone, no connect fee, and cellular service for $14 per month. And that includes 20 minutes of off-peak airtime. That's right, I said $14 and 20 minutes free off-peak airtime. This offer expires April 30th. So go by East Metro Communications, this area's oldest authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. They're located a quarter-mile east of Newton General on Highway 278, or give them a call at 786-6796.
Certain restrictions apply, cannot be combined with any other offer.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Clint Edwards leads it off for the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. Welcome to the top half of the 5th inning at Winder Barrow and Newton. We're at Riverside Park, Newton High School. Edwards taking the first pitch outside. Lunsford's still out there. He's calmed down quite a bit since that first inning. It's still allowed only the 1 run. 7 base hits, though. He's been able to scatter those hits. There's a swing and a high chopper. Baker making a nice play on the short hop to throw in time. Doyle Baker playing a nice game at third base this afternoon. That's 1 down. Baker charged that ball and charged it right into a short hop, but recovered well and made the play. So here's Kevin Senior. Senior 1 out of 2, a single and a flyout. Again, we want to remind you that there will be no Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular tomorrow at 9. Also, no fishing report from J.J. Pollock about an hour or so earlier than that. Slow curveball. First pitch is inside. Lunsford likes to throw that curveball first pitch to the left-handed batters. It's very common for him. Gives him a look at it, then throws that fastball, which he just did there, but that one also missed, so he's behind 2-0. But of course, the trivia show and the fishing report will return on the 20th, a week from tomorrow. There's a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch from Lunsford, 2-1. Rams will be here at Riverside Park. 12 o'clock game against Mount St. Joseph. Listen in for Country Countdown USA and Atlanta Braves baseball. 2-1 pitch bounced up the third baseline. Baker fields it in foul territory and fields that ball as if it is a fair ball, which is a good job because the umpire's job is to do the umpiring and the player's job is to do the playing, so you don't want to try to make calls for the umpire. So Baker fielding that ball, waiting for the call, and the umpire did call it foul. Even though that pitch, or that ball that was hit down the third baseline is a few feet foul, you never know when the situation might occur where an umpire's decision might disagree with your own. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here. Wide from Lunsford and the pitch. Swing and a miss. It'll force Middlebrooks to throw the ball to first base as he dropped it on the third strike. But it's a strikeout and 2-3, the put out at first base. And folks, that is Jason Lunsford's first strikeout. Shows you what kind of performance he can put in. Striking out his first batter here in the 5th inning, but despite that, has pitched very well. He's walked 3 and hit a man and given up 7 hits, and that doesn't look terribly impressive, but Winder has stranded a lot of base runners, and Lunsford has been able to keep them from scoring. Pitch is a strike to Walden. In fact, at least one man has reached in every inning for Winder Barrow. Walden is 1 for 2. Part of the 4-hit outburst in the first. Single to score Edwards, then he bounced out to Baker in the third. Swings and fouls one back here. Lunsford quickly ahead, 0-2. Top half of the 5th, Rams with a 3-run lead. 16-4 would be the Rams' record if they can hold on here, and 8-1 in sub-region play. The wind, the 0-2 pitch, inside. In fact, if the Rams can win the rest of their games, they have 4 more after this one, they will have reached 20 wins in the regular season. That is certainly a rare accomplishment. Swinging a hard liner to center field. That's in front of Luke Allen. The 8th base hit for the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. 2 doubles and the rest of them singles. So runner on with 2 down. Alan Balcom is 0 for 2, a pair of flyouts, and he will step in here against the lefty Lunsford. Even the Final Four team of 1994, the one that is talked about so much around here, did not win 20 games until well into the region tournament. And last year's Ram team won 19 during the regular season, won their 20th in the first game of the tournament against South Gwinnett. Time is called. Mike Walden, the runner at first base here for the Bulldogs, 2 down. Balcom at the plate. Wind and the pitch. That's a strike on the outside part. Balcom thought it was outside and held up his swing. Thought about going for it, but it's a called strike. Pitch in the dirt, and Chris Middlebrooks with a nice stop there, keeping the runner at first base. It's a ball and a strike. In fact, we're going to double check here in the near future and find out if any Ram team has won 20 games in the regular season. That's a tough thing to do. Usually in the regular season you play about 25 games, so you've got to have a great regular season record. Throw to first base, and Walden goes diving back in. The Rams' Final Four opponents: Mount St. Joseph tomorrow, then Rockdale and Parkview next week, and then the next Monday, the 22nd, the Rams will be at Berkmar, and that'll be a chance for a little revenge for the sub-region loss 2-1 that the Rams took here at Riverside Park last Friday, swinging a bouncer back to the screen. 2 strikes and 1 ball to Alan Balcom. Then after that, of course, starting on Thursday, April 25th, we'll be at Clark Central High School in Athens, and Barring some kind of catastrophe, I would expect the Newton Rams to be there, and guess what that means? We'll be there as well. Myself and Bill Dolan will be bringing you play-by-play. Lunsford again goes to first base. Keeping Walden close, and Lunsford's got a good pickoff move. Time is going to be called, and Winder Barrow's head coach and the base umpire are going to have a discussion probably about Lunsford's move to first base, which, as Bill and I have pointed out throughout the year, is very close to a balk, and the Bulldog coach is probably saying the same thing to that base umpire. In fact, he's probably going so far as to say that it is a balk. But no call was made. So remaining at first base is Walden. Lunsford takes a look in with 2 down here. Goes to the plate, and it's swung on and bounced out of play, 1-2. And on that delivery, Mike Walden, the first base runner, was going back to the bag. In fact, he was all the way back to the first base bag. That's how fooled he was from the delivery of Lunsford. 1-2. Popped up, could stay in play for Middlebrooks, goes over by the fence down the first baseline, but it's just out of play. And Middlebrooks crashes right into the fence, and that brings Don Shepard and Joe Brassfield out immediately. They understand his importance here. Shepard picks up the mask and hands it to Middlebrooks, and he and Brassfield are going to talk for just a moment, but they saw him crash into that fence down the first base side. Now, Middlebrooks is a big guy, and that fence is leaning a little bit down there at first base. Leaning out since he crashed into it, but he appears to be okay. He's going to continue on here. Could be a scary moment if that happens, if we see Middlebrooks go down. One ball, 2 strikes. So Middlebrooks set to go, and now Lunsford will step off, and they'll run through a new set of signals here. They almost caught Balkum, but that foul ball was about 6 inches out of play. Low and outside, ball 2. So the count evens here. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rams with 4 runs on the scoreboard. They've held the Bulldogs to just the single run. 2-2 with the runner going. It's bounced up the middle. Easterday's got it behind the second base bag. Throws on to first in time. No runs, 1 hit for the Bulldogs. They leave a man at first base. So after 4.5 innings, your score, the Newton Rams 4, Winder Barrow Bulldogs 1. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered. With vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869. 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
Tradition and excellence since 1946. That's WGFS, AM 1430, Covington.
Half of the 5th from Riverside Park, Kevin Holden bringing you the Newton Rams and Winder Barrow Bulldogs. Your score is 4-1. We started off with Easterday, followed by Ryan Moon and Luke Allen. Easterday hit a long home run to right center in the first and bounced out in the second, swings and hits another one deep to center field. It'll bounce in front of Blake Johnsay. Easterday with his second base hit of the game for the Newton Rams. That is hit number 6. They've had 4 singles and a pair of long ones. So with the leadoff man on here in the 5th, look for the Rams to be aggressive with Ryan Moon, Luke Allen, and Chris Middlebrooks coming up. Moon is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. In fact, in danger of ending a streak that goes all the way back to the Salem game on March 16th. It has been almost a month since Ryan Moon did not reach base in a game. That Salem game, of course, was called after about 4.5 innings because of rain, and so Moon might have had a shot. In fact, he was at bat when that game ended. Throw to first base, and they're going to call a balk on Kevin Sr. So Easterday will move up to second base. And something I don't quite understand, Joe Brassfield is shaking his head as if the call went against the Rams. Apparently it's something that the base runner did not do, but Easterday on the balk moves up to second. Still no one out. Allen is 0 for 1 with a walk. He's on deck. They take a look at second base, and Kevin Sr. brings it home. Fastball outside. Action for the Bulldogs in their bullpen. A right-hander warming up down there. So Senior's night may be through if he runs into trouble with the 2, 3, and 4 positions here. Runner leads away, stretch and pitch, popped it up, foul territory over by first base. Balcom has to cut back into fair territory almost to make the catch and nearly dropped that, but at the last second, probably about 6 inches off the turf, made that catch. So that's the first out. Now Luke Allen. Allen 0 for 1 with a walk, as we mentioned. He scored in the third. So unless Moon can find a way to get up one more time in that 6th inning, that streak that he had of reaching base in every game might be over. Allen with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. And you'd like to see him pick up a base hit here. And this is one young man whose confidence should be boosted by the performances of the Rams of the last week or so. And I know that picking up a base hit will help him tremendously as they go into next week's action. Ball 1 outside. This is the time you want your team to peak, starting probably with this game and then next Monday at Rockdale and Friday against Parkview. If the team starts peaking there and carries that peak performance throughout the playoffs, that's the ideal thing. They look back at second base. Easterday goes back there. 2 years ago, that's what the Rams did, rode that momentum all the way to the Final Four. They went through the region tournament undefeated that year. 1-0 pitch, line right back up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. They're going to wave Easterday around third base. He will score as the throw is cut off, and it's 5-1. The Rams lead. Allen with a great base hit back to center field, and that ball hit just to the first base side of the pitcher's mound. Hard hit ball, line drive, and you like to see it, so Allen does come through in the clutch here. Rams on top by 4 runs. Now Chris Middlebrooks, another man who is hitless here, 0 for 1, receiving also a base on balls. There are 3 people in this Ram order who have not reached base yet in this game. The 8 and 9 spots, Doyle Baker and Jarvis Johnson, and the number 2 batter, Ryan Moon. Middlebrooks takes a big cut at the first pitch but misses, 0-1. Moon has had 3 plate appearances and has flied out 3 times. Baker has a strikeout and a flyout, and Jarvis Johnson a strikeout and a groundout. Everyone else has reached base at least once. Allen, Easterday, and Hires have all reached base twice, and Middlebrooks trying to do the same. They're pitching out. Allen is going nowhere. A ball and a strike. Bulldogs thought they had the Rams signed, but Allen was going nowhere. Allen with 6 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught 4 times. They go to first base, and the senior center fielder is back in.
Covington's radio station, AM 1430, WGFS.
Welcome back to Riverside Park at Newton High School. A few changes here for Winder Barrow as they bring in Blake Johnsay to pitch. Johnsay, a side-arming right-hander. He'll be facing Cleary, Hires, and Floyd. The next three men due up, of course, with two down here. He's going to be in to face Cleary. And the Winder Barrow Bulldogs have paid special close attention to Richie Cleary, the right-handed power hitter. So they bring in the sidearm righty to face Cleary here. He's 1 for 2. Runner at second. The Rams have pushed one across, trying to add to that. Two down, Ryan Moon and Chris Middlebrooks, both with flyouts. Those are the two outs. So Johnsay is in to pitch. Kevin Sr. has moved to center field. First pitch is off the shin guard of the catcher, and that moves Allen over to third base. And the ball reached the Newton Ram dugout. That's how far it bounced away, so Allen will be allowed to score. So it's a pass ball, and the singular pass ball allows Allen to move up 2 bases. That's an unusual play, but he scores, so the Rams lead 6-1. That ball reached the Newton Ram dugout. It hit off the shin guard, and it was a square hit because it bounced a ways away from him, and he was chasing after it, kind of lollygagging after it. And by the time he got to it, it had reached the dugout. That's a dead ball and an extra base, so Allen scores. So Cleary is up here, not really in an RBI situation anymore. Strike called to him outside corner. Johnsay, first time the Rams have seen him this year. Tall right-hander, but a submariner. Comes in as Cleary grounds one to short. Good play from Walden, his throw in time. And Johnsay comes in and retires Richie Cleary and the Rams here in the 5th, but they pick up a pair of runs on 2 base hits. A 2-base pass ball, a stolen base, a balk, among other things in there, but no men left on base. As we head to inning number 6, the Rams lead the Winder Barrow Bulldogs by a score of 6-1. You are listening to Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The Toro Wheel Horse XL Series lawn tractors have a lot of big features, and one small one, the price. For as little as $1,499 at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you could be driving one this season. These Toro Wheel Horse lawn tractors are available with tilt steering, step-through design, and recycler mowing decks. Some have shiftless hydrostatic drive transmissions, and Toro Wheel Horse stands behind these tractors with their 2-year total coverage guarantee. Get the details at Coast to Coast Home and Auto today. Has there ever been a better time to buy a Toro Wheel Horse tractor or riding mower? Here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we say the answer is no. Why? Because right now, qualified buyers can purchase any Toro riding mower or tractor with no money down, no payments, and no interest until October 1st, 1996. Take advantage of our special limited time offer at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where we have a complete line of Toro Wheel Horse riding mowers. No money down, no payments, and no interest till next October. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st.
6-1 Rams. We go to the top half of the 6th. Kevin Holden bringing you play-by-play action. 8 Quad A South matchup. Winder Barrow with 2 more shots against Jason Lunsford and the Rams. They'll start things with Art Wells, followed by Shannon Faulkner, and then Blake Johnsay. That's the bottom 3 spots in Winder Barrow's order. Johnsay, the third man due up, came in the 6th as senior moved to center field, and he retired Cleary on the ground out. First time I think that Richie Cleary has seen a sidearm right-hander this entire year. Now, he's seen, of course, plenty of right-handed pitching, and we all know that he has certainly seen his share of off-speed pitches, but that's the first sidearm righty, and really, Johnsay threw nothing but fastballs, but kind of fooled Cleary, kept the ball away from him. So, as we head to the top half of the 6th, Rams hoping to keep Winder Barrow in check. Line by Jason Lunsford, his first pitch on the way home. Outside, ball 1. Rams with 6 runs. They have done so on 7 base hits. Winder has 8 base hits, but only 1 run. 1-0 pitch misses low. 2 balls, no strikes. The Rams have been efficient with their base hits, certainly more efficient than their opponents throughout the year. Several games in the sub-region, they have been out-hit, yet they've won the game. 2-0 missing up high. Now, of course, a lot of that has to do with the Rams' aggressiveness on the base paths. Also, the fact that they've been able to string together the big inning like that 8-run outburst at Shiloh on Wednesday. And, of course, all those things help. 3-0 pitch up high. 4 pitches, the base on balls. So a man at first here with no one out. And here's Faulkner. And Faulkner has not been fooled one bit by Jason Lunsford. He's 2 for 2, a double and a single. Also has a stolen base and a caught stealing to his credit here. They're going to bring Baker in. He was playing a very deep third base, but they're going to bring him in here against Faulkner. The positioning against Faulkner for the left side there. On that side, shading him just a little bit to pull, and that's what the problem is. That's why they were bringing Baker in. Apparently missed the first set of fielding instructions from Joe Brassfield. First pitch up high, ball 1. And as Baker was moving, so was Jarvis Johnson in left field. Johnsay on deck is also 1 for 2, so the bottom of the order is 3 for 4 against Lunsford so far. That one missing, it's 2-0. Lunsford isn't missing by much right now. Not especially wild, missing a few inches here and a few inches there. Throw to first base, and Wells is back in. Due up for the Rams in the bottom half of the 6th. They'll have the 6, 7, and 8 spots, and Stephen Hires will, for the 3rd time in this game, lead off an inning. That's coming up. Called strike, 2-1 to Faulkner. Shannon Faulkner. I bet he never guessed that he would probably be the most recognizable name on this Winder Barrow team. Swinging a foul tip, that makes it 2-2. Of course, Faulkner, the young cadet at the Citadel, who couldn't make matters up there. But this Shannon Faulkner has a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thought about going about after the pitch in the dirt. Runner's headed for second base. Throw down there. They got him. What a throw from Chris Middlebrooks. That ball bounced away 10 feet or so, and the runner at first base took off for second and was looking down toward his third base coach in rather amazing amount of disbelief, because that ball bounced away quite a bit, but Middlebrooks with a tremendous throw down there, so caught stealing at second base there for the first out. We got a full count here to Faulkner, 3-2, line right back up the middle. Now that caught stealing looks even bigger. That's a base hit. Another hit for the Bulldogs. That's their 9th. Faulkner is at first with 1 down, and Johnsay will step up. He's 1 for 2.
Number 22, Blake Johnsay.
Newton Rams pitching staff coming in with that ERA of 2.21. It'll rise a little with that Shiloh game. They gave up, I think, 5 earned runs there. Here, though, their ERA stands to drop if they can hold Winder Barrow in these last couple of innings. That's a strike on the outside part. It's 0-1. Opponents have scored 17 unearned runs off the Rams this year. I think Joe Brassfield and his team would like that total to be a bit lower, but a lot of that came earlier in the year. Very few unearned runs here. Swinging a bouncer down the third baseline. Fair ball. Johnson cuts it off as it heads for the corner, and that keeps the runner at second base. But Blake Johnsay driving one down that third base line off of Lunsford. So go up there looking to pull. That's not often something you can do against Lunsford, but they did there. And that'll bring the middle infield and the catcher out to have a conference with him. First and second with only 1 out, and we head back to the top of the order and Mitch Musser. And folks, don't count this one in the books yet. Musser has reached base every time he's been to the plate. And on deck, Josh Matthews has a double and a walk to his credit. He's driven the ball hard. So Lunsford may be in a jam here. He's going to have to pick it up a notch against the top 2 batters in the Bulldog batting order. Winder Barrow coming in 12-6. First pitch didn't miss by much, maybe a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. That means that outside the sub-region they are 9-2, because inside the sub 3 wins but 4 losses. Lunsford the stretch and the pitch. That's a strike. The curveball. Haven't seen much of that today. That caught the outside part. 1-1. Lunsford hasn't thrown many curveballs to the right-handers today. Now the left-handers have seen a few more, but that's typical for Lunsford. Fastball hit him Musser for the second time hit by a pitch. That one coming inside, and Scott Musser on the bottom part of his left leg, and Lunsford isn't exactly the hardest thrower in the world, so of any of the Ram pitchers, it's probably easiest to brush off one from Jason Lunsford, although that was his fastball, so it'll hurt a little more than other pitches he might have thrown there. So the base is loaded here for Winder. Bases loaded with one down. And Matthews will step up. Mitch Musser has reached base 4 times but does not have an official at bat. A walk in the first, a walk in the second, hit by pitches in the 4th, and also here in the 6th. Loading up the bases. So Matthews digs in and takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. Still no action for the Newton Rams. They'd like to have a complete game out of Lunsford here. They can go with Richie Cleary tomorrow against Mount St. Joseph. Lunsford faking the toss back to third base. Baker is 7 or 8 steps away from the bag. Pitching from the windup with the bases loaded. Another pitch high. It's ball 2. So the left-hander having a little trouble throwing strikes here. A walk to Baucom. He hit Mitch Musser, and a couple of base hits in between. There's a strike outside corner. At third is Faulkner. At second is Johnsay, and at first is Musser. Rams lead this one by 5, but Winder Barrow threatening here. Swinging a bouncer over by the first base dugout of the Bulldogs. Misplayed by Kevin Sr., who was standing out in front of everyone. He's a few batters away. In fact, Matthews is on the on-deck circle. 2 batters after him is Sr., and Kevin Sr. has a batting helmet. Looking forward to his next at-bat. 2-2 the count. Wind and the pitch. Popped up into shallow left field. Johnson going in now, making the catch. He started actually going back, then came in to make the catch for the second out. He was fooled by that pop fly. Matthews hit a little weak pop up there. In fact, for a minute I was worried it didn't have enough on it and it would bounce in front of Johnson, allowing a run to score. But fortunately for the Rams, the shallow pop fly helps in many ways. They get the out, but it was shallow enough so that no one could come across. Everyone had to stay put. So Faulkner is still at third, and Johnsay and Musser at their respective bases. And Clint Edwards steps up. He's a sharp hitter. He's 1 for 3 in this game. But flied out deep to center. Grounded out to third, and then the single, and came around to score. Dangerous man to have up here with 2 down and the bases loaded. Takes a pitch just off the outside corner. Lunsford working quickly, goes into his windup. The 1-0 pitch outside and high, ball 2. Sun beginning to go down on the third base side. It sets behind third base here. And for about an inning, that sun gives trouble to the first baseman and right fielder, but it hasn't been much of a problem yet here. That's the strike on the changeup, 2-1. The daylight savings time, of course, has helped this out a lot, as normally we would be at 6:20 and probably in about the third. There's a swing and a liner into left. It's a base hit. 1 run will score. Johnson's throw keeps Blake Johnsay at third base, but Winder Barrow picks up another one. The base hit from Edwards, and it's now a 4-run lead. And with the bases loaded, that means the potential tying run comes to the plate, and that's the cleanup batter, Kevin Sr. So Lunsford has got to watch how he pitches this guy. The single from Edwards and another conference on the mound. Lunsford has plugged along, struggled a little bit here, struggled at times. He's given up a lot of base hits. 11 of them to be exact. And they've been able to scatter them, but Winder Barrow can only leave so many runners on for so long. The Rams have been dodging bullets most of the afternoon. Winder Barrow has already left 8 men on base, and if Senior can't pick up these runners here, that total will rise to 11. Senior, the left-hander, facing Lunsford, the left-handed pitcher. Curveball first pitch, Swung and hit toward left field. Johnson slipped for just a moment, but recovered, and he makes the catch. And the Winder Barrow Bulldogs leave the bases loaded here. They pick up 1 run, doing so on 3 base hits. No errors from the Rams, and as we mentioned, those 3 men left on base. Bottom of the 6th, your score is 6-2 now. The Rams leading the Bulldogs of Winder Barrow High School. Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The cellular phone business has become extremely competitive, and it's not unusual to see ads offering free cell phones. What gets the consumer's attention these days is an affordable rate plan. Well, if that's what you're waiting for, then listen up. Right now at East Metro Communications, you can get a free cell phone, no connect fee, and cellular service for $14 per month. And that includes 20 minutes of off-peak airtime. That's right, I said $14 and 20 minutes free off-peak airtime. This offer expires April 30th. So go by East Metro Communications, this area's oldest authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. They're located a quarter mile east of Newton General on Highway 278, or give them a call at 786-6796.
Certain restrictions apply, cannot be combined with any other offer.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations, and you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Back from Riverside Park at Newton High School, bottom half of inning number 6. Rams have a 4-run lead. Johnsay out there for his first full inning. Came in and retired Cleary with 2 down in the 5th. Allen was at second base at that point in time, but the pass ball on Art Wells, the Winder catcher, allowed Allen to come all the way around from second and score. So Johnsay did his part, just as defense behind him didn't do theirs, and the Rams actually did pick up that run. Johnsay did get Cleary on a ground out. Side-arming right-hander's first pitch outside to Stephen Hires, ball 1. Hires has had an uplifting day at the plate, 2 for 2. The single and the long ball. 1-0 pitch. Swinging, looking for perhaps his second long ball of the game, came up short. A ball and a strike. So Hires breaking out of that slump that we were telling you about. And of course that will help with the Rams headed for the sub-region last 2 or 3 games and then the region tournament. Swing and a miss. Make it a ball and 2 strikes to Hires. Region tournament in less than 2 weeks, folks. 13 days. It starts on the 25th at Clark Central. The pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnsay looks like he throws a pretty good fastball, but his main thing is the trickery, and he doesn't appear to have a lot of control throwing sidearm there. Wells gives the signal 2-2 pitch, nearly hit him inside. Count runs full here, 3-2. Rams in their 20th game of the year, looking for their 16th win. Hires swings, pops it up into shallow right field. Going to be a long run. Faulkner is there, though, to make the play. Thought the second baseman, Brandon McIntyre, might have a play at that, but Faulkner called him off, and Faulkner had the best angle, but also the longest run, but a wise play from the right fielder, Faulkner, who made the catch. Now Lane Floyd, who's 1 for 2. A single and a flyout. In fact, in the second inning, Floyd helped to really manufacture his own run. He singled, then stole second on a failed bunt and run play, stole third on another failed bunt and run play, scored on a wild pitch. Bats here with 1 down in the bottom half of inning number 6. Facing the sidearmers, swinging a hard grounder to second base. McIntyre, a good job staying down on that ball, throws to first in time. Floyd hit that ball on the nose. Cannot ask for him to hit the ball any better than that, but the second baseman was there to make the play, and now here's Doyle Baker. Baker has struggled in this game, a strikeout and a fly out to right field. He's 0 for 2. Johnsay brings it home. It's outside, ball 1. And when you're in a position like Doyle Baker's where you're looking to find your batting stroke once again, because he had it earlier in the year. The last thing you want to do is to face a man like Blake Johnsay, who throws from down under. Swinging a pop fly toward the right side, and Faulkner will be under this one, and he'll make the catch. Rams retired 1-2-3 here in the 6th. Last chance for the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. Rams trying to win this one. They're up 4. Your score is 6-2. Newton Rams lead. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered. With vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price, all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869. 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
We head for the top half of inning number 7 with the Rams on top by 4. Jason Lunsford looking for the complete game, which would be his team leading 4th. He's got a 4-run lead to play with here. Michael Walden will start it off, followed by Alan Balcom and Art Wells. Walden, the number 5 batter, Balcom number 6, and Wells number 7. Lunsford having a conference with his infield. The Rams looking for their 16th win against 4 losses. Right now they are 7-1 in sub-region play. A win would put them at 8-1. 3 more sub-region games. They have 12 total. 2 against each of the teams in the sub-region. They have already finished their series with the Brookwood Broncos and the Shiloh Generals. They swept both of those 2 teams, looking to do the same to Winder Barrow. First pitch, a ball low. Walden 2 for 3, a pair of singles. 1-0 pitch, there's the strike on the outside corner. The other 3 teams in the sub-region, Rockdale, Parkview, and Berkmar. Lunsford's change-up missing. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Going to work quickly here in the 7th. He goes into his wind and brings the 2-1 home, and it's swung and popped up foul territory. Hires gives chase on the first base side, and he's got it behind the first base dugout. A good play. A lot of distractions down that first base side. You've got the dugout, which protrudes out from where the fence is. Then the fence goes back in for a little ways there, and of course then there's also the gate that can open up. So you really have to know where you are there, and you have to pay attention not only to the ball coming in, but also to your position on the field, and Hires did that very well. 3F in the scorebook. Here's Alan Balcom. First pitch to him is up high. Rams beat Rockdale and Parkview, and they could have a chance to sweep 5 teams out of 6 this year if they can go on a winning streak and win their next 2 in addition to this one. There's a strike, 1-1. The next sub-region game is Monday at Rockdale. Wind, a 1-1 pitch, swung on it, popped him up. Cleary, coming in from his right field position, is going to make the play. That's the second out. 1 out away. The Rockdale game Monday is a 7 o'clock start. A little different from the norm. The JV team will be playing ahead of time, and that's the reason for the delayed start. Usually, sub-region games begin at 5 o'clock, but not Monday. 7 o'clock start there. Back to the 5 o'clock starts Friday here at Riverside Park. Swinging a high pop fly. This could do it. Luke Allen is under it, and he's got it. It's a 4-run win for the Newton Rams. 6-2 your final. Jason Lunsford pitching the complete game giving up 2 runs on a slew of base hits, but scattering them over the 7 innings, and the last inning was his best one as he retired the Bulldogs 1-2-3. We're going to come back and wrap up the happy news from Riverside Park Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A Garden Weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
Aside from choosing the right home, it's important to choose the right mortgage loan. At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, we're putting today's low rates together with prompt hometown service in offering special construction perm loans with one-time closing, conventional and balloon mortgages, and more. And servicing of your loan remains right here, too. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, 3175 Highway 278, Covington. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
When you're looking for a garden tractor, you want one that won't back away from the big jobs. You want a Toro wheel horse garden tractor from Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Here's one tractor that's not afraid to get dirty. And with an available 20 horsepower Toro Power Plus engine, it can mow, till, plow, even remove snow without breaking a sweat. But don't take our word for it. See the complete line of Toro wheel horse garden tractors today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. We think you'll agree they look great in red, but they're even better in earth tones. At Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we'd like to give you some powerful reasons to go get a Toro wheel horse lawn tractor, like an available 16 horsepower Vanguard overhead valve engine, or the largest mowing deck available on any lawn tractor, and a choice between a fully automatic hydrostatic transmission and a shift-on-the-go 5-speed. See one for yourself at Coast to Coast Home and Auto today. We have a full line of Toro wheel horse lawn tractors to choose from, and you'll learn that with so many high-performance features, you can make quick work of almost any job.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
Back to Riverside Park at Newton High School. Well, the news is good yet again for the Newton Rams, as they have only lost one game all year in the sub-region. Good news is they've won 8. They got their 8th sub-region win this afternoon, 6-2, as they beat the Bulldogs of Winder Barrow High School. Your final totals for the Newton Rams: 6 runs, 7 hits. They did not commit an error. They only left 2 men on base. Didn't really have a lot of men on base in this game, but they took advantage. Jason Lunsford goes 7 innings, giving up 2 runs on 11 hits, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, gets the win. He goes to 5-1 now. That is his 4th complete game of the year. And Lunsford really didn't have his best stuff. He did not have his best fastball and certainly not his best curveball, but kept the ball around the plate, walked those 4 batters, but of course a lot of those came early on and in non-crucial situations, and a couple of those runners were erased thanks to caught stealing, so that was also a very important factor there. For Winder Barrow, 2 runs on 11 hits. No errors. They left 11 men on base. For Winder Barrow, they were hitting the ball well off of Lunsford. A lot of singles and a few doubles mixed in there. Just couldn't push the runs across. Your loser in this game, Kevin Sr., going 4 2/3 innings and giving up 6 runs. Winder Barrow falls to 12-7 and 3-5, and pretty much eliminated from the playoff picture for 1996. But for the Newton Rams, they go to 16-4. They are 8-1 in sub-region play and maintain the first place standing in 8 Quad A South in the most recent rankings, number 7 in the state of Georgia. That is sure to rise with the way that they have played this week, picking up 3 crucial wins in a very crucial stretch. 3 sub-region games in the span of 5 days. Monday against Brookwood, Wednesday against Shiloh, here against Winder Barrow. 3 crucial games. You pick up 3 wins, and you put yourself in the driver's seat. Rams did exactly that with 3 wins. Here they win at 6-2, and the next Ram action on WGFS with yours truly, Kevin Holden, will be tomorrow at 12 noon. Rams will take on Mount St. Joseph, coming all the way down from St. Paul, Minnesota, to take on the Rams right here at Newton High School, Riverside Park. Please come on out and check the action. If you can't be out here with us in person, get your radio and listen into WGFS. We'll bring it to you live. And also the next sub-region game, Bill Dolan brings you play-by-play for that. I will have to step out of the broadcast booth for that one particular evening. That'll be this coming Monday, 7 o'clock against the Rockdale Bulldogs. For our executive producer, Todd Q. Chapman, and a cast of thousands at Riverside Park, this is Kevin Holden reporting. Your final score, 6-2. The Rams beat the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. Good night, everyone.